How you all doing today? I'm tired. My bones are aching and my muscles are sore. I've been working at a gas station now for over 3 months. What baffles me is that this is the first job I've had in over a year. Due to COVID, I was not able to work. Why? Because I refused the Kool-Aid shot and I didn't want to take that chance because there were no long-term studies about the Kool-Aid shot. I think people understand what I was talking about when I say Kool-Aid as a reference to something else. I can't talk about it, the RNA shots, which every time I say anything about it in a negative, I get censored. That's probably why I'm not able to get ahead on YouTube. But anyway, I cannot seem to get ahead on this economy. It seems broken. I'm trying to budget as best as I can, trying to get some tools and get all my things together, but after 3 months I don't have much savings because the cost of living is going up. I have no hope of going back to school, not for a while now. My only hope of trying to get ahead is probably through YouTube, and thinking maybe I might have to start another channel. I don't know. I didn't want to talk about issues that were going to bum people out. My last video, it nearly broke me because of how the seriousness of the situation, the possibility of a COVID 2.0 happening. I know that people don't even think about that. But that's where my mindset is as of right now. Just in case if there is such a event going to happen, I think it might. It's possible. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a prophet. I don't have all the answers. I don't know. So that's why when I said to people in my last video, please be prepared, I'm trying to do that. But as I was saying earlier, the cost of living is going up. I may have to share a video clip with a certain mother who said it best, that she has a couple kids and they're working away, and that's to be expected. Everybody expects everyone to work to try to get ahead in life, but something is definitely wrong with this economy, which I'm gonna play the clip now in a second. I'll just leave the comments down in the comment section. If anybody wants to share their input, they can. And if they have a video response that they want to make to this, I'll probably post it maybe in a later video.
Today is a very special day for me. 6 years ago today, I moved into my car. August 5th, 2017. And so I thought we'd celebrate with some very cheap champagne that was about $5.
I am so tired of feeling helpless as a parent. Yes, my kids are grown adults. My oldest is 28, my youngest is 25. And I thought by teaching them what I learned, which is you work hard, you get a good job, you're gonna get the things in life that you need, right? Worked for me, why wouldn't it work for them? Because it doesn't. Because the world has fucking changed, all right? And now I feel like I see them struggling, and before my generation comes at me, yes, I understand struggling is a part of life. We all struggled, but there's a difference between struggling and drowning, all right? So we struggled and it was tough, but you know what? We made it. We knew there was a light at the end of the tunnel with our struggle. It seems like kids today, no matter how much they struggle, they just get further and further down the water into the drowning point, all right? When I was their age, I was making less than $10 an hour, and I can afford to live on my own. Now you have to be making 6-figure salary to get a decent, tiny little place to live. So what the fuck is going on, and how do we help them as parents? I told my son, all you have to do is work hard, go to college, or join the military like I did. He went to college, got his degree, got a full-time job. He moved back in with me right when he graduated from college because he said, hey, Mom, as soon as I get a job, which was within 2 weeks of him getting out of college, maybe take me 2 months and I'll save up enough money for me to move out. Okay, cool. It's been 10 months. He has saved almost every dime and still can't afford to live.
What is your advice to buyers and sellers in the market? During the pandemic, it was a great time to sell. If, say, for example, you could move to St. John, New Brunswick, or Medicine, Alberta, somewhere that was considerably cheaper. In the current market, sellers and buyers are just about equal. We don't have it skewed one way or the other because they're sellers. If they come into the market, they're in good shape because there's lots of buyers out there. Buyers, even though they'll be paying higher rates, they may face less competition than they saw, say, during the pandemic.
All right, we'll leave it there. Phil Soper, President and CEO of Royal LePage. Thanks for your time tonight. Talk soon.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.
We had a deal. Very simple deal. You work hard, you get a nice house, you get good food, good living, and a good life. That deal, just like everything else in Trudeau's Canada, is broken.
There is a fire in that teepee, and apparently the city has officially sanctioned it and given approval for it. They consider it an Indigenous rite of passage.
Why are one-bedroom studio apartments almost $2,000 a month? Why?
I came to this country 12 years ago, chasing the American dream. And now, I live out of my car. You want to know what happened? The short answer to why I'm here is rent is too expensive and I love to save money. But we also have to look at what's going on in this country. Many Americans are used to seeing a 2% increase in their rent cost every year. But all of that changed in the past few years. Rent is skyrocketing across the nation. In 2019, I used to pay $1,200 for a one-bedroom apartment. I just looked at their website and it says $1,725 for the same floor plan. What? Also, check out this graph by the U.S. Census Bureau. It tells you that rent prices are rising 4 times faster than income. If you're wondering why people are complaining about paying rent or struggling to pay it, this is why the lines are going in 2 separate directions. Writing checks to my landlord every month back then, it was like a dagger to my heart. Anyways, I've been doing this for a while now and sort of got a routine going. I do want to turn on the car because that's the only way to regulate temperature in vehicles, unfortunately. It might get a little bit noisy from the AC, but it feels a lot better. Today for breakfast we're making oatmeal, so I do need my stove. It's right here in the back. So this thing just uses butane bottles. Just by clicking this right here, it engages the bottle into the system and then now can use the system. I'm about to use my stove inside the vehicle without rolling down the windows, and you're probably going to be yelling at me for that. The heat is going to go in, the humidity is going to go in, I'm going to be sweating, plus the mosquitoes are going to go in too, so I don't want any of that.
One of the same guys I used to work with as a DoorDash delivery driver, he had a nice car. I could have easily have had something for myself had I had taken it and stayed.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Did I ever have a choice to begin with? Like, no matter what I do, I cannot seem to get very far in the city.
Like, I just don't get it. So I don't even think that there's even classes anymore. There used to be, upper class, middle class, lower class. It's literally turning into the ultra wealthy, and then everybody else is just poor.
Got this from the clearance rack, and I got noodles,
Like, that's what is happening. And then I told him, hey, when you turn 25, at least your car insurance will go down. Hell no, he turned 25 and his car insurance went up $150. I tell him, you know, if you need health insurance, get a good job. He did, has health insurance. He has had a medical emergency this week. Had to go to emergency room twice. He had to go to the emergency room because he couldn't get anybody to see him with the health insurance that he had. So he had to go to an emergency room. Now he's out money for that too. It seems like you can never get ahead. And then my daughter, I told her all you have to do because she wanted to buy her own house. My daughter worked 6 days a week, 12 hours a day to save up enough for this down payment. Finally got this house. She's paying double what I'm paying for my mortgage, but her loan was the same amount. And then her mortgage company, after she's already moved in, said, oh, by the way, we forgot to tell you that you need this type of coverage, which we forgot at the beginning. That's an extra $200 you've been paying a month. And all they see when they come home is they watch social media, kids their age on lavish vacations with all this money and nothing to do, all these social media influencers, because we value those types of things over hard workers. We will pay them $10,000, but you'll work 40 hours a week, you can't afford it.
I'd like to point out that it's been over a month now since I had the rotator cuff injury due to my bike accident. And I went home and I got to see a doctor, but all he could tell me was just to take ibuprofen and do arm stretches. And I guess my insurance probably doesn't cover any rotator cuff surgery, so now I have to live with this pain in my arm. Where is their tax dollars going? I wonder if people need help in emergencies. Thank you for tuning in. May God bless. Stay crafty. Peace.
I've had a lot of experience with refugees and stuff. Feel bad to me. And we don't have that right now. We're trying to force people to do it. There's a lot of homeless people now, okay? Now, I used to work down at the worst corner of Toronto here as a teenager, just in my early 20s. And, I've come back to the area over 20, 30 years now, but it has never been anything like this. The entire park filled with people, every shelter filled with people, every motel filled with people.
ATV News has learned of a startling increase in the number of families with no permanent place to call home. New research shared exclusively with us by the charity Crisis found there's been a 10% increase in homelessness in England.
Michaela juggles her job in a factory with trying to find somewhere to live. She's rented privately for 13 years, but in February became homeless. With no council homes available, she's moved from hotel to hotel in North London.
Have you tried to find anywhere to rent privately?
There's nothing that's affordable, nothing. Even if I didn't have any bills to pay, I didn't eat food, I still would not be able to afford the price they're charging.
So we've got a break in the weather.
Ian and Teresa are living in a tent in a family member's garden. The family of four were given a no-fault eviction in June, but because they both work, they don't qualify for emergency accommodation, which would cost them £160 per night. The tent is their only option.
Renting, the costs are ridiculous, and then you've got people that are offering 6 months rent in advance, so they're going to have them rather than us. It's very competitive, which it wasn't a few years ago.
Obviously not getting much sleep in the tent and then go and work doing a 12-hour shift. I'm constantly tired, but it's just what I've got to do, isn't it?
It's took its toll on me mentally. Really bad, because I've been suicidal, so and I've rang the hotlines a few times to just chat to people and stuff. So.
So this is my unit here, and at the top of the unit you can see I have an antenna, and that's so I can get a cell signal inside the unit itself, because once you close the door, it drops all signal. have a lock, which I've magnetized onto the door so it looks like it's locked, even when it's not. So in here I've got my TV, I've got my bed, my kitchen area over there, and my couch over here. And I've screwed on a latch here, so that way you can close it.
I'm fortunate enough to have this job for however long it is. It's not full-time, it's only part-time, and I don't know how long I'm going to be able to hold down this particular job for. It doesn't pay that much. Just got back from the hospital and I was doing a little shopping. Just get the things you need.